My favorite iPad just got updated. Yes, it's the iPad Mini 7, chock full of a bunch of different upgrades, including the storage and RAM at the same price, which is really mind-blowing. This is very exciting, but the main question I'm gonna answer in this video is, should you upgrade to this new iPad Mini? Should you maybe wait a little bit longer, or should you buy a different iPad instead? Well, I'm gonna answer all of those questions in this video, but first I gotta go through everything that's new. For upgrade number 1, I honestly wasn't expecting this, but Apple doubled the storage from 64 gigabytes to 128, which Apple usually reserves for their more expensive iPads, and to think they didn't even raise the price. $499 with the same storage. I was not expecting that. Apple, bravo for giving us a good update without janking up the price once again. Now for upgrade number 2, we've also actually doubled the RAM from 4 gigabytes previously to 8 gigabytes of RAM. That is a big deal because it's gonna help you with multitasking, not having apps closed down all the time in the background. Let's say you're browsing Facebook, you switch to something else, you go back to Facebook and it completely refreshed. That one video that you really wanted to see is gone and you can never find it again. Double the RAM, 8 gigs is gonna be a big deal. And for upgrade number 3, that of course is related to the RAM because it's the A17 Pro chip. It seems like Apple had a bunch of extra stock of the A17 Pros from the iPhone 15 Pro models, and since those are already discontinued and there's no other device with that chip, it makes sense to put the A17 Pro into the iPad Mini. But one difference is that you don't get the full 6-core GPU. It's actually a 5-core GPU with the A17 Pro in the new Mini. We're getting a huge boost in performance, especially from the older iPad Mini 6 in terms of single core, in terms of multi-core, and in terms of graphics. So this is gonna be a gaming machine. For upgrade number 4, we now have Wi-Fi, which Apple says is 2 times faster. Yes, it's Wi-Fi 6E versus the previous Wi-Fi 6 on the iPad Mini 6. And what that does is basically gives you a third band for Wi-Fi, which is the 6 gigahertz band, which means you get a lot faster speeds, especially at closer distance. So that's gonna be a big deal for people struggling with Wi-Fi reliability issues or speed issues. Another quick update, number 5, is actually Bluetooth 5.3 versus the previous 5.0. That's really nice because 5.3 is a lot more reliable. This is the one update that I've noticed has increased the reliability of my AirPods and other devices the most, and it's nice to see that it fully matches all the new AirPods, including the AirPods 4, so you're good to go if you wanna buy this new iPad Mini. Now for upgrade number 6, we do have an upgraded neural engine with the A17 Pro chip, even though it still is a 16 core and it doesn't really seem like it's upgraded because the previous iPad Mini also had a 16 core. Deep down, architecture-wise, it is actually faster. It's improved, especially since it has 3 nanometer technology, which leads us into upgrade number 7, which is really big, Apple Intelligence support. This is gonna be a big deal because once all those features start rolling out, like the Genmojis and the writing tools and basically everything else that they have, it's gonna be a big deal to have an iPad that's modern, that supports it. Now for upgrade number 8, this is a really small one, and even though the actual camera on the back of the iPad Mini is still the same 12 megapixel, it supports 4K, but you now get Smart HDR4 support for photos compared to Smart HDR3 on the previous iPad Mini, so that's a nice update. And for upgrade number 9, this is of course a small one. We do get a couple of new colors, and I know this might be funny to some of you who don't really care about colors or always choose like a neutral tone like the space gray. Some people upgrade just for colors alone, like on the new iPhone 16s with the teal and ultramarine, great colors. And finally for upgrade number 10, this one has not been confirmed just yet, but I believe it has been fixed. It's actually the jelly scrolling issues that plagued the iPad mini 6 because Apple updated the display and they rotated the way that it works so that when you're sitting and using it in basically portrait mode and you're swiping up and down, you see this weird jelly effect, especially in text. We had leaks and rumors that Apple has fixed it. Of course, we can't confirm it yet, but that's gonna be a big deal because it was definitely a little bit annoying. And now I do wanna get into a couple of downsides because not everything is perfect and great and dandy with this new iPad mini 7. So let's get into the first downside, and that's the fact that it doesn't support the Apple Pencil 2 anymore. You actually have to upgrade to a new one, which they do have the Apple Pencil Pro, which has a bunch of new awesome features like hover and the tilt and barrel roll and whatever else they have. They have those new features. You have to upgrade to that one, or you could actually buy the less expensive, cheaper Apple Pencil USB-C version. It's a lot less expensive, but honestly, if you're buying a new iPad, you gotta get the Apple Pencil Pro. And now for downside number 2, with the iPad mini, it's so small that you don't really have proper keyboard case support with the smart connector, which is just a genius connector, which gives you basically a keyboard that has 0 latency, no lag, no batteries because it just powers it from the iPad and it doesn't even drain your battery that much. It's just so nice to have those, but the iPad mini doesn't get it because it's too small. You can use a Bluetooth keyboard, but those are just so tiny. The keys are all tiny. That's one of the downsides with the mini. And for downside number 3, Apple actually got rid of the nano SIM card tray, which means if you want to do 5G through a card, you can no longer do that. So it sucks for people who like to travel across the world, throw in a foreign SIM, they're good to go with their 5G cellular support. Now you can only do eSIM. And now let's get into the main question. Should you upgrade? Should you wait even longer? Or should you buy a different iPad? Well, in my opinion, the iPad mini is actually my favorite iPad out of all of them for iPad things. Now, if you want a computer, you want to use it with a keyboard, you want to do work with it, I would honestly recommend one of the other iPads, especially the iPad Pro, which is a great upgrade right now because it just got the tandem OLED display. It's the first iPad to get it. The other iPads will be getting it over the course of a few years, but it's a great upgrade if you want an actual computer or a PC. Now, if you want a general iPad mini to do iPad things, yes, definitely upgrade. You can play some games. It fits perfectly in your hands for the on-screen controls, feels really nice. It's great for kids, for playing their little kid games. Now, of course, you can also buy the budget iPad, which is a lot less expensive, especially on Amazon. There's a sale going on. I'll leave the link below. That's also a great iPad if you kind of want a budget PC, if you want to go on a budget with it, which it doesn't have all the features or it doesn't have the great performance. It doesn't have Apple Intelligence, and I'm not expecting it to get Apple Intelligence either. So that's one of the reasons why you'd buy the iPad mini instead. But if you're looking for a budget PC, the budget iPad is a great deal. Now, in terms of should you wait, should you skip this iPad mini 7 update? Well, honestly, I think it's gonna be quite a while before it gets updated again. If you're looking for an iPad to upgrade to, this is a great time right now with the iPad mini 7. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and subscribe above and check out one of those 2 videos right over there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.